Bless you. This is the Reverend Dr. Gilberto Rosado. Dios le bendiga. Este es Reverendo Dr. Gilberto Rosado. Welcoming you to another broadcast. At this hour, we have our bilingual broadcast, our teaching in English and Spanish. So we ask that you be patient as we translate live on the fly between languages. Esta es la hora que damos la enseñanza en inglés y español y pedimos que tengas pues paciencia mientras que traduzcamos de un idioma al otro. Aproveche y aprende el otro idioma. While we're at it, you can learn the other language as well. Es un beneficio de sintonizarse con nuestro ministerio. It's a benefit, an added benefit, I should add, of tuning in to our ministry. God bless you all and welcome. Dios le bendiga a todos y bienvenidos a esta clase de hoy. Blessings and welcome to our class today. You will notice that my voice is even more, I guess, deeper or nasal, more than normal. I'm always nasal, but this was worse because I'm going through another COVID version. Again, COVID has always hit me a little lightly. This is no different except that it's just nasally concentrated. That's it. However, we're getting over it. I'm feeling better today than yesterday. So we're getting through with this. So that's the reason I'm a little bit off today. So please forgive me on that. But I wanted to continue the part 2 of the aftermath of the seminar that we had. That atheism is dead, entitled Atheism is Dead. So we want to go over some more of the things that we noticed after the seminar. And also I want to announce that this will probably be the last lesson I do in this for this part of the season. I usually go until December, but it's going to be a little more difficult for me this year to finish through for these last couple of weeks. So I'm going to call it early and get to work on the book, on the Holy series. When we get started again, Lord willing, we'll be sorry. Okay, sorry about that. I'll try to pause the video and do my coughing off video as possible as I can. We'll get back to the Holy series when we get back to broadcasting in it should be probably February, if not March. We'll give you a heads up when that starts again. So, I'm going to really go heavy in on the book over the winter months because next year is going to be a big year with the 343 initiative. We've just started today. Was it today? Yes, today's historic day as I'm recording this because the 343 has officially received its first intake assessment. I know it doesn't mean anything to all you, but it means that the process of 343 has started. So today's an historic day. Now, going from here, I just want to make an emphasis as for the Atheism is Dead issue because it's like the same announcement. It's the people not understanding how language works. A lot of people using it very literally,
right? And so you gotta understand when people say certain things. There's other parts of speech. There's other use. So there's other parts of speech. The way we use things, we allegorical, metaphorical. And we use hyperbole. These things, if you don't know what these words are, look them up in the dictionary. But they're parts of speaking. So when someone says something, you have to allow for these other ways of saying things, right? So just like I said that, 343 is on the map. It doesn't mean that 343 is already has a 40-story tower in the middle of Manhattan. That simply means that it started to process its first official form, and that's a big deal, especially for me. All right, so that's all that means. It doesn't have to mean, oh, what, you got a big 40-story, 140-story building in Manhattan? I mean, you're a multi-billion-dollar foundation already? No, that's not what we're saying. Things have a beginning, and the beginning is a big deal. And in the same token, the Atheism is Dead seminar in providing and bringing to light the information that it did is what it puts atheism to death. Now, doesn't mean it's dead. It doesn't mean that you guys understand everything that I have, and I haven't given everything that I have. It just means that the effort, the revelation, the beginning has started to the end. So a lot of things in the Bible also speak that way about the end. It doesn't mean it's the end. It means it's the beginning of the end. It's just it's a part of the end is this big. So just because it was starting here, right? We call this the end. This was the end. And now you can look and say, well, it's lasted 2,000 years. It doesn't matter how long the end is, but the end is a phase. It's a period of time. And so that is what we're referring to. I always refer to that. Of course, I'm going to give a seminar one day to a group of 2 cats, and it's going to mean that the death of atheism in an instant. Of course not. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous thinking, which is a typical thing that many atheists do. They go to the extreme of stupidity. You don't have to go to an extreme of stupidity. It's enough stupidity as it is without going to an extreme. You don't need to do that. Okay? Because you're highlighting stupidity, but it isn't ours. It's yours that you're bringing to focus. Así que nosotros nosotros estamos explicando de que en el ateísmo es muerto el seminario, que nunca decimos que eso era el fin, sino el comienzo del fin. Eso es todo lo que quiere decir, que el ateísmo es muerto ahora después que esta enseñanza empieza a salir. Pero muchos ateos se vienen a decir que ya es el fin. Oye, ya pasó el día, ¿qué pasó? Right. Lo que pasó que di el seminario. Di el seminario y sigo. Esto va a continuar. Pero lo que estoy haciendo es haciendo morir el ateísmo como existía antes del seminario. So what I'm doing is killing off atheism as it existed before the seminary. The seminar. That's what it means. And as time goes on, the things that I have, the people I work with, the tools, software, the courses and institutions that I have under my belt, and the time moving forward with me and without me, because I have everything set to endure after I'm dead and gone. Atheism will eventually fizzle away the way you know it, the way it was known before the 28th of October. That's all. That's what I mean. It's done. Done deal. There's no way out of this one. So that's the explanation about that. It's very simple. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or you don't agree with it. That's the way it is. So no importa si tú estás de acuerdo o no estás de acuerdo. Eso es así. Punto. All right. So I'm using the social evangelizer, one of my tools, everybody. Right? That will survive me. Okay, and we're going to use that just to go into Facebook. No big deal. We're just going to use it to get into Facebook right now. And we're going to look at what some of the commentary is after October the 28th on one of the atheist groups that I comment on, and I'm gonna get me something to sip on. So wait one moment. It'll be a quick pause here. All right, I have my little water canister here. All right, so we'll go into. Let's see if we have it here listed. This is Facebook. Our atheist group. Probably it's on the top there, and then page 9. Well, this is under what? On the Bible, so it won't be here. Atheists. Right here. So we're going to visit our group, and then I'm going to look for see if I can find it here. So many things that people post. Here. I could go here and look for something I've done here. Let me look for my group activity. Okay, this is what I posted. Atheism dies October 28, 2023. Both sides win. Mark your calendar. I did say both sides win. But in typical fashion, atheists it doesn't register with atheists. Okay. So they got 99 comments here. Ooh-wee. So let's look at that. That's what we're going to cover today. We're going to look at all of these comments. Okay. And these are things I've already covered in the past, so I'm not going to go there. Here you notice that they accuse me of being a scam artist, a scammer. You know, scammers take money from people, right? Again, accusing without knowing, because the the environment in which the atheist works is that he doesn't really know. He's just making a claim, right? With what he figures, what he's assuming. So you guys do that with most of your thinking. Now, so I clarify, my seminar is free, friend. It's free. So it's a free seminar. So again, they're making comments without having all the facts. They do the same thing about the Bible. Now, they say make the claims against Christians, the same claim they make against Christians. Ellos hacen la misma discusión o argumento contra los cristianos, que los cristianos dicen cosas sin base, El problema es que la discusión es sobre el Dios de la Biblia. Y el cristiano usa el texto del Dios de la Biblia. No estamos usando otro libro. Hay que usar el texto del Dios de la Biblia para hablar sobre el Dios de la Biblia. ¿Sí? Ese es el punto. Nosotros estamos basados en algo, en alguna evidencia. La cosa que ustedes están fuera de esa evidencia. Algunos no lo aceptan, otros no lo saben, no lo conocen bien, pero ustedes están mal. So the point is here that, when you're having a discussion about the God of the Bible, you have to use the Bible. And then atheists don't want to use the Bible, and or they just don't really know the Bible that well. They think they do, but actually they don't. And when we point it out, you guys are out of base. So it only looks like we're talking without evidence, but we are talking about the evidence of the argument. In other words, about the God of the Bible, we have to use the Bible. Now, if you were talking about Superman, right, you would have to refer to the comic books that talk about Superman. Just the other day, I was discussing with my kids this horrible thing you guys have done with Superman, poor boy, and making him such a weakling. Where did that come into play? Because when the original comics came out, Superman was Superman. Okay? There was no thing about him being able to get beat up and all that. Now we understood all that about Krypton and things that we do understand that. But after that, you guys are just, they made Superman such a weakling. It's ridiculous. So again, but in discussing this, we're talking, is Superman a real character? No, right? But if we're going to discuss Superman as a subject matter, we got to use the comic book. You guys can say, well, Superman doesn't exist. What kind of Superman is a subject for discussion. And if we're going to have a discussion about Superman, then we have to go to the texts that talk about Superman to get information. That is all. It has nothing to do with is it real or not. It has to deal with, is this the subject or not? Ding dong. So this is what atheists don't get. If we're going to discuss the God of the Bible and you have to discuss his claims. His claims are in the Bible. That is all. Are they, the argument is, are they conceptually valid? You just can't not say, you cannot just throw out the whole thing, because then you're not discussing the God of the Bible any longer. That's all. So you don't have to be, if you don't want to discuss the God of the Bible, then you have nothing to say about the God of the Bible. You're out of the discussion. If you're going to get involved with someone who is positing on the side of the God of the Bible, they're going to be referencing the textbook, the comic book that you guys opine is the comic book. They're not going to be dealing with any other issue. This is where we get our information now. And if you don't want to deal with it and deal with its concepts, are they valid or not, then you don't have anything to say. You're involved in an argument or in a debate or a discussion that you really shouldn't be involved in. Simple. So, entonces, si uno va a contestar o responder en una discusión sobre el tema el Dios de la Biblia o algo relacionado con las declaraciones del Dios de la Biblia, entonces hay que aceptar lo que dice la Biblia como puntos de argumentos, y lo que hay que dialogar entonces como una hipótesis es si ese punto es válido o no, si es conceptualmente válido o no. Eso es todo. Pero el ateo siempre busca huir o mal entiende el libro. ¿Ok? Lo mal entiende. Y entonces insiste que la interpretación que ellos tienen es la verídica. Y por eso, entonces, no puede ser así. So it can't be, the Bible is clearly a misunderstood book. And we cannot have a discussion about the God of the Bible if atheists are unwilling to deal with the concepts that we are positing, the person they're dealing with are positing about. You can't say, oh no, that's not the way it is, it's this way, this is the interpretation. No, you have no authority to state what the interpretation of the Bible is, because you are anti-God. You're anti the declarations of the Bible. So we can't go by you. You're not the one positing what the claim is. Now, if you want to make the posit of a claim and then say this is why we don't believe in God because of this, and realize that then you have to deal with me when I come and say, well, that's not what the Bible is actually saying. And then you deal with that, one way or the other. But you cannot just disregard my posit based on your wrong understanding and your wrong interpretation of the Bible. So no puedes entonces refutarme basado poniendo su caracterización o su interpretación de la palabra de Dios sobre el mío, porque usted en este punto, siendo ateo, tú no tienes una interpretación de la Biblia. Para ti es absurdo. For an atheist to have an interpretation of the scripture is absurdity to its highest level. So let's not be intellectually dishonest. That's being dishonest. All right, so that's the issue with that. Okay. So let's continue here. Vamos a continuar aquí. See, and again, this guy said this. I think it was before the seminar. Let me blow this up. Can I? Yeah, can I? So you guys can see that. Maybe throw that up higher. Okay, so the only way for atheism to die is for at least one God to be incontrovertibly demonstrated to exist. So this is the whole point. You did not see the seminar, right? And this is before, so they're talking before the event, and he makes a great point, and it's exactly my point. He doesn't realize what is going to be said at the Atheism is Dead seminar. That's why I'm saying. So his argument here on October the 28th was killed. See, this is his view of atheism. Este ateo va a explicarte. This view of atheism died October the 28th, and he proved it. This is the proof right here. Because this, after you see my seminar, you can't say that. You understand? So this is where they themselves prove themselves wrong. Así que ellos aquí se demostraron equivocados. Aquí dice que la única manera para que el ateísmo muera es que por lo menos un Dios sea incontrovertiblemente, o sea, indudablemente demostrado de existir. Y en el octubre 28, en el seminario que di, se eliminó este argumento por completo. Entonces, si yo destruí este argumento, he muerto y no he muerto ateo. See? So if I destroy this argument with my seminar, according to him, is atheism dead? Or isn't it? It is, because his premise is done. It's the wrong premise, and that's what I showed on October 28th. So therefore, his atheism is over with. Así que el premisa de este varón se destruyó. No la pregunta, sino su premisa, su preconcepción. ¿Sí? Se destruyó en octubre 28 en mi seminario. Entonces, pues ya el ateísmo donde está parado, el ateísmo de este hombre se destruyó en mi seminario. So, you know, I am right, and I you know, it happened. That's exactly what happened. So I'm trying to find out find something that happened after the seminar. So we're getting closer. Ooh, 2 days to go. Here we go. Are you a comedian? That's pretty funny stuff. See, you're gonna hear how much of a comedian I am when you realize what laughter really is. You see, but I'm saving that for another level of teaching. See, I can hardly wait for you to demonstrate that Vishnu exists. Okay. It says here, Joshua, well, it doesn't matter who these people are. Do you know them? I don't know them. And they could be fake names. As far as I'm concerned, everybody here is fake names, right? I'm the only one who uses my real name, so as far as I'm concerned. So that's the way I look at Facebook. Your own Bible makes you out to be a fraud and a liar, as it claims no man can know the hour of the Lord's arrival. Who's talking about the Lord's arrival? Nadie dice que yo soy mentiroso porque nadie sabe la hora del que cuando el Señor ha de venir. Que yo estoy hablando del Señor ha de venir. He's saying this because he's feeding off of someone else. Oh, another rapture story. See, another rapture date. So then this guy's assuming based on what he's heard. It's a parrot here. This is the way atheists do it all the time. Así que los ateos están respondiendo a otra estupidez de un otro ateo. Entonces, por lo que dijo ese otro ateo, ahora viene este a hablar algo que está fuera de lo que es lo que estamos hablando. Esto es la locura, la estupidez de los ateos. So this is again a great demonstration of how nutty and dumb atheists do themselves. I didn't cause you to do this. This is what y'all are doing. That's why I'm doing these videos. I'm doing this video so that you guys can see for yourselves how dumb you guys are in this whole debate. This is really stupid, right? You're going off of when somebody just mentioned was totally off whack, and you kept going with it. And this is it. And we wonder why things are going on in the world the way they are. Okay. So again, I'm not even going to read this because it's just stupid. It's just totally stupid. It has nothing to do. Here we go. List of dates predicted. Now they're thinking of list of dates. This is obviously schemata. If you don't know what schemata is, it means it's something, a word or a situation, anything can trigger a preset, a pre-experience. And sometimes it's a traumatic experience, which is PTSD, right? So when it's a traumatic experience, when you relive it, and here it's there in schemata because they return to the same like argument against this thing, and this idea was only triggered by a word that someone said over there. This is schemata, and we see how these atheists are simply having some issues here, okay, to put it lightly. Nosotros estamos viendo estos ateos que están teniendo problemas de esquema, que ellos cuando leen una palabra entonces empiezan automáticamente a responder de cierta forma. So these are schemas, or in Spanish they're schemas, in English they're schemata, because they're triggering certain responses from you. They're like automated responses. You're not even thinking. You just like you committed these things to memory. And if you haven't, this is the point. If you haven't committed these responses to memory, it is schemata because it's just coming out of you, just like naturally. And you don't realize that it's schemata because the topic has nothing to do with what you guys are doing here. That's how you know. Así como yo conozco esto, como uno puede conocer, es que el tema no tiene que ver con fecha de rapto, pero están están dejándose llevar. Esos son problemas mentales. Ese es problema mental. Esto no es un argumento racional. So this is a mental issue. This isn't an issue of responding to an argument. It's not a logical or reason response. It is something that shows you that some of these folks have an issue. To put it simply. So, morning, day of prediction, nothing happened yet. Still do not believe in the magic sky wizard either. So again, they're not understanding what is meant. What I meant for atheism is that. And that's understandable. It was a marketing. It's a title to grab attention. Yeah, to cause, what do you call that? To troll. Es attention grabber. So yo entiendo que la declaración iba a causar esta reacción. So yo lo entendía, yo quería eso. Para ser transparente, seguro. Yo esperaba una reacción, pero ya yo había planeado de tener estos videos para poder hacer, ¿cómo se dice? Analizarlos en video para que ustedes y yo podamos ver y analizar cómo responden a esto, porque ellos no son capaces de comprender ni para admitir. They are not able to understand or to admit it. Even Jesus said something similar, right? That's why he spoke in parables. He said they don't understand. So I speak in parables, So, entonces Jesús también dijo que él hablaba en parábola porque la gente no entiende. So, eso es lo que estoy también usando en esto maneras. All right. So, yeah, it is now the 29th. Está el día 29. Your day has come and passed. Nothing happened. Dice que nada pasó. ¿Cómo pueden decir que nada pasó? ¿Ve? Que ellos no querían. ¿Qué se está manifestando aquí? What is being very evident here, even with this last statement here? The day came and passed and nothing happened. What is missing from this statement? ¿Qué es lo que está faltando de este comentario? Pero nosotros vimos el seminario, right? Eso es lo que no está. ¿Por qué no vieron el seminario? See, that's the issue. Why didn't they see the seminar? They didn't mention that they saw the seminar. They didn't want to see the seven. They just want to make comments here. They just want to stay with their argumentation. They're not interested in anything being presented. They're just staying firmly in what they hold to. That's it. They're not interested in seeing anything. So what are they afraid of? ¿De qué temen ellos? Yeah? So they must actually believe that some of us preachers are very, very compelling. They have to believe it. They have to believe that if they watch a video, one of these days, it's going to convince them. They have to believe that in order for them to just not watch and just come back the next day and say, well, what happened? Nothing happened. See? Entonces, ellos están presentándose esto como muy curioso, ¿no? Que ellos no quieren ver en la presentación. If you really, si tú realmente no crees en Dios, ¿por qué temes una presentación? If you really don't believe in God, why are you afraid of a presentation? That's the curious thing about this whole thing. None of these people saw the presentation. None of them saw the presentation at all. And look at the comment that he's making. The day passed, nothing happened. el día pasó ya y no hubo nada. I gave the seminar. Eso es lo que pasó. Lo que pasó fue que yo di el seminario. Y el seminario presentó la muerte del ateísmo. So what happened was, for this person who said nothing happened, well, let me inform you, since you made yourself blind and deaf on the 28th by not being there. What happened was that I killed atheism on the 28th of October. That's what happened. But you weren't there. See? Why? Anyone could have been there. Anyone could have tuned in from online. We had a couple of people who tuned in from online. Nosotros tuvimos unos pocos que estaban allí en la línea, por internet. Nadie en el mundo tenía excusa de no estar. ¿Por qué? Si están todos interesados, ¿por qué no estuviesen? ¿De qué temen? Es otra cosa. What are you afraid of? It's again what I say. If this is such an interesting, important thing for you guys to make your comments, why weren't you there to see and to hear? What are you afraid of? None of these guys here, gals, had the cojones, as we say in Spanish, to come and see what I brought to the table. See, that is the problem with atheists. All you guys are deniers. You're in denial. That's it. The person that's in denial don't want to hear anything. No, that's it. No. That's it. They don't want to hear nothing. And that's about real things, by the way. See, when you don't want to hear nothing about real things, right? Usted cuando ahí está en negación, niega todo. No quiero oír cosas reales, ni razones. No quiere oír. Pero arriba de eso, on top of that reality, is the fact that you guys don't believe in God. They don't believe God exists. So then what are you afraid of? Ellos no creen que Dios existe, entonces ¿de qué temen? ¿Qué temen? But obviously there's a fear that they have en mass. So, tienen que haber un temor que tienen en masa. Es claro por la evidencia que se ve. Lo que se ve empíricamente, pero eso es lo que tenemos. Ahora, John, here this guy is pointing out that they haven't seen me since. Yes. I have not gone there since because I wanted to do these videos first. Now you can see that from my last video where I started to respond to these here. I'm not responding in the forums at all. I've been busy actually making sure that atheism is dying. So that's basically what I've been doing. This last week, my family's gotten COVID here, and I'm the last guy holding the fort, and now I got it. It hits me very lightly, thanks to God, but it still hits me. So it's not like I'm not like sitting down writing right now. But I'm doing this video, and I'm taking my sips of water. I'm pushing through. But I'm making sure that atheism dies. See, that's what I've been busy. Like I said, October 28th. From October 28th on, atheism is dead. I've been killing it since. Yo he estado muy ocupado matando el ateísmo desde aquel día. Ok, el seminario reveló tremendo cosa, pero ellos no saben. Pero es a mi favor, trabaja en mi favor. Shh. So none of them, they're all afraid of going to see the seminar, and all of that works in our favor. Atheism is dead. They're afraid of the truth. Ellos temen la verdad que el ateísmo es muerto. Eso es lo que temen ellos. Pues esa es la razón. Right? Esa es la razón que están molestos, no vieron el seminar, they're bothered, they didn't see the seminar, right? Now, I haven't showed up, but this will be irking them even more, the fact that I haven't showed up. See, lo que debe de estar molestando más es que no he respondido desde el octubre 28. So obviously by my absence, something of course has happened. Of course you're going to read it a different way. They'll take it and put it in as a different way. Ellos lo van a interpretar diferentemente. Algo pasó octubre 28. Ya él no ha regresado hablando aquí. Right? So obviamente algo ha pasado. And in fact something happened. Something has happened. Y en hecho algo sí sucedió. El ateísmo es muerto por lo que enseñé. Y estoy asegurando que se muere más y más y más en más personas, en más ateos. And I'm making sure that atheism dies in more and more people. That's what's happened. Okay? They're not understanding when is a dam destroyed, really? This is the argument here. Is a dam destroyed, when all of it comes down and the waters come rushing over it and all that? You say, well, the dam got destroyed. Was that the moment the dam failed? Or is the dam destroyed when the first crack occurs? That failure crack, the one that starts opening and opening and opening and opening and right? So it's a matter of perspective, right? Es algo de perspectiva. Cuando se destruye ¿cómo se dice eso en español? El retener the kind that tells you the truth to your face. Hay diferentes tipos de pastores. Muchos pastores no le dicen, no te miran la cara y dicen, mira, oye, tú no eres convertido, ¿sabes? Tú te dices cristiano, te crees cristiano, pero mira lo que está pasando. Mira cómo hiciste así. Eso no es de cristiano. Usted tiene que arrepentirse. Muchos pastores no te atreven a decir eso. Oh, yo soy el más grande diezmador de esa iglesia. Yo me voy a ir. Pues vete tú. Sí, eso sucede en mi iglesia, yo te lo digo. Pero yo estoy mirando un ateo ahí escondido, de eso. Yo estoy mirando un ateo mañana que va a decir, que Dios no existe, que Dios no, que esto todo es falso, que todo. Yo te lo digo hoy, yo no espero a verlo. Porque eso se ve, no hay fruto. You know, because these things are knowable because there's no fruit really. Not no true fruit. But I'm not going to get into it. That's another debate for another day. So like I said, October 28th was indeed the death to this posit. Let's see if there's anything else interesting here. So, okay, you there, Gaburazala? Yeah, I'm here. Here I is. Hi. ¿Estás tú ahí, Gilberto Rosado? Sí, yo estoy aquí. I'm hard at work, baby. Hard at work, making sure that atheism goes away. At least the one that you're standing on, right? You can always continue atheism, but not with the stuff that you're doing now. That is done. El ateísmo sigue, pero no con el plataforma, o sea, la manera en que lo tenían antes. Okay, and so in the next one there says, this fool is still promoting his silly I am so going to wreck atheists. Well, you know, you would have a point if you had gone to the seminar to see it, but you guys wreck your own selves. Si ustedes hubieran ido al seminario, ustedes entonces podían decir que yo sigo promoviendo que voy a destruir ateos. Pero el problema es que como no fueron al seminario para como decir, esto sí es un insensato, este no sabe nada, no pueden decirlo, ¿no? Ustedes mismos se destruyeron. El insensato son ustedes. You know, so the fools were the atheists who didn't bother to show. You were scared to show up. Why? Why are you scared of? You destroyed your own argument because you're showing. I'm never afraid of approaching, hearing any argument. Let me have it. All throughout my 52 years in the gospel, let me have your argument. Give it to me. Do it the best way you can. Let's go. I take it all. I'm not afraid of truth. Right? I'm not afraid. You got something to tell me that's true? Go ahead, give it to me. Right? In all my 52 years, when I was a teenager, I would get, thick envelopes from atheists with all the contradictions in the Bible, every posit, every point, everything. And I would sit down and I would respond to each and every one. On the paper it was one-sided, so on the back I'd turn around and number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I would respond to each one. There's hundreds of responses. I'll put it in the envelope, put a stamp on it, do the reverse address and whatnot, and send it off. Yeah. So I have heard it all. I've seen it all. And the only thing that I learned from all of that is that you guys don't know what you're talking about. You really don't know the Bible and you don't understand. Okay. So in any case, if you got something new, come on. Si tiene otra cosa, yo estoy respondiendo hace 52 años a los ateos. Y nunca me dieron nada que tenía diente. Todo era falso y errores y equivocaciones. So the greatest part though here is that you guys have proved yourselves to be the fools. Ustedes se han probado o dado prueba que ustedes son insensatos. As a matter of fact, that this is going to be one of my main posits moving forward. Moving forward is that now I have something else that I can say about the seminar, and that is that all the atheists have been afraid to deal with this information. All you're doing is making my thing stronger than yours. That's all you did. All you did, is almost as bad as what you guys do. Well, not you guys, I don't know, but a lot of guys do with Trump and all that. You make it worse for yourselves and better for Trump all the time. It's amazing to see all the attacks, all of this and that. It just makes the man bigger than life. And what you guys are doing, isn't that foolish? That you're making it bigger than it should be, in your opinion, right? You're making it bigger. All you had to do is, since you don't believe in God, then there's no God to believe in, right? So you're not afraid. Go to the seminar and tear it apart, man. That's all you had to do. It's very simple. I go, I watch a video, I tear it apart. That's what I do, because things are the way they are. They don't make a good argument, I'm going to tear it apart. Yo veo una video, yo no tengo temor de ver videos de diferentes religiones, creencias, iglesias, y yo lo destruyo, punto a punto. Yo no tengo temor, right? Pero ellos sí tienen temor. Todos estos tienen gran temor, y por eso no vinieron al seminario, porque si hubieran sido inteligentes y sin temor, hubieran ido al seminario y destruido mis puntos. Entonces hubieran tomado el video. Mira este insensato que dice esto, óyelo, oye qué cosa bruto dijo, mira. No lo hicieron. They would have said, look at that dumb fool over there. Look at what he says. This is totally nonsense. And spread it all over social media. That's what I would have done that. But they're all afraid. They're simply all afraid of what I got. This was very revealing, because y'all could just destroy me if you would have done that, but no, you didn't. So now that becomes my strength. Ahora eso empieza a ser, lo convierto en mi fortaleza, en un armamento. See, they weren't too smart there. Oh, no, not too smart. That's me, brother. I'm laughing at y'all. Okay, so this apparently is all there has been. Let me see one reply here. Let me see. I desperately want him to upload it to YouTube. It was live on YouTube, by the way. But again, they didn't bother doing search. I couldn't promote it here. I wasn't promoting it here because the forum rules. You can't put a link. You can't do self-promotion or something like that. I think that this discussion was very, very important and related to this forum, this group. But the rules prevented me from, and I contacted the so-called moderators and admins, and no one responded to me. Still till today, no one has responded, not a word. So how are we going to interpret that? Yo quise poner el enlace para invitar a que vinieran a ver, a oír, pero el grupo no permite poner enlaces y esto lo otro, y yo creo que lo que yo estoy presentando es algo relevante al grupo de ateos y cristianos en debate. Pero me dirigí a los administradores, a los moderadores, y nadie respondió a mi mensaje. Así que no hice nada, menos anuncié que tal día se iba a destruir ateo, porque eso es algo para hablar, pero sin el enlace estas personas no podían fácil asistir, pero podían investigar un poco en mis videos, en mi perfil. Lo que solo tenía que hacer es buscar mi nombre aquí. Yo no sé si sale. Sí, aquí. Y ir allí. Y verán en el perfil los videos que yo hablo de ateísmo muerto. Y ver el enlace de donde podían ver el video. So they could have gone and seen the video. Or getting the link. To then, be reserved a free ticket. To be invited or sent the link on YouTube for the event. If they wanted to, all they had to do was look at my profile and look for my other posts about it, because I would promote it on my profile. We do that, what happened? They're not smart enough to do that? Yes, of course they're smart enough to do that, but they didn't want to do that. Simple. No querían hacerlo, punto. No querían hacerlo. Oye, you can claim ignorance. Come on. You guys are hiding. You're hiding, because if you wanted to know, you could have found out. You say, I'm waiting to him to put it up on YouTube. You have to wait, brother. You think yourself intelligent? You could have proven it by finding it. Simply, if anybody wanted to find it, they simply could. Especially here in this Facebook group, it's as easy as going to my profile and looking for it. It's just simple. They don't want to do it. Ellos lo quieren hacerlo, lo quieren hacerlo. Right? That's simple it. It can't be nothing else. I just it's interesting that they don't believe in God, yet they're afraid of my presentation. That's the interesting thing about it. Lo interesante de esto es que no creen en Dios, pero temen mi presentación. Yeah, I'm laughing at this because I do things in the total opposite. I will see any video they send to me, any religion, any group. I have a guy who's Hebrew roots. He says, "Hey, look at this video. Here you got evidence, this and that." So I'll look through it. I tear it apart. And it's as simple the way it is. And anyone can send me material from any religion, and I will make a video like I'm doing here and show you why this and this can't be, and this is not true, and etc. etc. This is deceptive. I'll do that. You know what? They're all afraid. Todos temen que yo analizo un video de ellos. Y tienen temor. Yo tengo uno que quería que debatir, but when he realized that I was going to ask certain questions, I didn't want to debate. I just wanted to ask questions. He faulted. No, why would you do that if you got the truth? Alguien que quería debatir conmigo, pero cuando yo dije, yo no quiero debatir, yo solo quiero hacerte preguntas. Yo estoy inquiriendo. Y eso no quería. ¿Por qué no? ¿Por qué temen que yo haga preguntas? Esa es cosa. Qué cosa curioso, ¿no? Usted dice que tú tienes la verdad y tú temes que yo te hago preguntas. ¿Por qué? So here it is that you say that you have the truth, that you're right, and yet you're afraid of me asking you some questions. How does that work exactly? Because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. But apparently, the atheists are a lot afraid. They are really afraid of what I have to say. So, and not only them, but this is about them right now. So, I don't see, let me look at more comments in between here. There's not too many. And I haven't done a search on the group to see if there were any new posts. But I didn't see any mentions of me, so. There's another one saying, we can add this to the list now, but I don't think it would be relevant enough. So here's one that's saying we can add it to the list, but it's not relevant. Relevant to what? To what I'm doing, or relevant to what you have, your straw man of dates of the rapture? But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe if they do that, that would be something, right? I made a list, at least. Ellos dicen que ahora podemos añadir a la lista ahora, pero no creo que es tan relevante. Entonces, ¿por qué están mencionando algo que no está relevante? Sí, porque están en otro. It's like they're admitting. This guy's admitting that this issue of the rapture dates has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, right? You see? So he's admitting their own deceptive and straw man tactics here, right? They're left empty. But it's an admittance that they're using a straw man. That's it right there. That's the evidence. They're using a straw man, and this guy, brainiacs, they're all on, they're so intelligent, just revealed it. You see, he reveals that they're using a straw man tactic. They must go to some school, maybe Harvard or something like that, to learn this stuff. My God, this is so funny. All right. Let's see if there's something here. Okay. Oh, I answered him. Misinterpretation is the one that about the rapture. Right, so I fixed that. Again, it's something else I won't talk about, but it's a misunderstanding of Scripture. This is an interesting thing, and I'll probably end it with this one. It says here, you are not an atheist in regard to Vishnu? Great. You admit Vishnu exists. Tell me about your worship of the god Vishnu. Now, this one will be one that I will address to this person when I get back into this group. Este está diciendo aquí, tú no eres un ateo en referencia al dios Vishnu. Qué gran. ¿Tú admites que Vishnu existe? Dígame de su adoración al dios Vishnu. Entonces, esto es uno bueno para usar. Porque el problema es que Vishnu y Superman y Batman y Thor y Zeus y todos esos dioses existen, ¿ok? Ellos sí existen porque son ídolos y son caracteres, ¿right? Caracteres que y existen como caracteres, como historias, como creencias religiosas. Por ende. So, They do exist because these are characters like Batman and Superman and Santa Claus. You guys keep saying that Santa Claus doesn't exist, but in fact he does exist because he is a character. He's a holiday icon. He is a holiday character. He exists. That's what he is, as a character, as a fictitious story, as a story character. He does exist. It has existence. Dr. Seuss books have existence. They exist. The stories exist. The characters exist. Okay? Now you're asking if they exist as a person or as a three-dimensional living being. That's a different question. Ahora, si tú estás diciendo que Batman y Superman y estos caracteres de historias y de prácticas religiosas existen como seres vivientes, como objetos de 3 dimensiones, eso es otra pregunta. Pero si tú dices que sí existen, pues seguro que existen. ¿De qué estamos hablando entonces? Existen como temas, como historias, como cuentos, como chistes. Existen como cuentos de hadas, como mitos. Existen. Right? So, it's like it's the stupidity of the atheist is using a stupid way of expressing himself. Not that the Christians don't do the same. I'm just saying that you guys claim to know better, then you better speak better, because you have to speak more precisely. You guys like science, because that's the way I speak. I speak very precisely. Yo hablo muy precisamente como la ciencia. Los ateos no. Eso es lo que crea este debate y el error del debate, porque no se está hablando precisamente. Los cristianos tampoco, los que creen en Dios o creen en un Dios, tampoco hablan precisamente. Usan este mismo y lenguaje suelta, como yo digo, que crea más confusión y debate que enseña la realidad o que demuestra realidad. If I would tell you that if I was an atheist, I would be promoting a more precise verbiage in these discussions. And I'm curious to see if any atheist would respond to me as to the reason why you guys are not promoting that. More precise verbiage, terminology. Because this issue, well, tell me about your great, you admit that Vishnu exists. Well, what are you talking about? If Vishnu doesn't exist, what are you talking about? What is that? A bunch of letters put together? You see, because and precisely speaking, of course, it exists. If you're mentioning it, and I'm supposed to recognize this, then obviously it has to exist. The word exists, right? The Vishnu exists. Yes, it's right there. Let's prove to you that Vishnu exists. Look at this. This is how stupid this is. Here, you admit Vishnu. You admit that Vishnu exists. Well, don't you see it there? Do you not see Vishnu? Does everyone see Vishnu? Yes or no? Then Vishnu exists. Look, Vishnu is right there. See, it's right there. This is how stupid the argumentation is, and how these atheists are really just not understanding. They don't understand how to use language. So this creates the problem. Vishnu does exist right there. Don't you see it? Now, if you're saying that it exists as an entity, that is something that is up for the debate, right? Is that an entity that is real? The entity itself, the as a living being, is it a being in reality? That should be the question. La pregunta correcta debe ser si Vishnu exista como entidad en la realidad. Eso es la pregunta. No voy a preguntarme si Vishnu existe. Seguro que sí. Pero hablamos de que si Vishnu existe como un ser en la realidad, entonces ahora estamos hablando más exacto, right? So again, that is not what they're doing, and it's curious because why not? You know, and if you see the seminar, you realize that wait a minute, if atheists are supposed to be more scientifically anchored, why don't they speak more precisely? Why don't they use more precise language? Because when you see the seminar, you see that I am using language very precisely. Cuando tú ves el seminario, tú verás, te darás cuenta que yo estoy usando el terminología exacto, precisamente. Ellos no. Pero ¿por qué si yo como cristiano yo soy supuesto ser menos científico? See, as a Christian, I'm supposed to be less scientific. And the atheists are supposed to be more scientific. Yet, in their posit, they are totally less scientific in their verbiage than I am in mine. So why is that? Porque ellos son menos científicos en su idioma, en su lenguaje, en su expresión, que yo, siendo yo religioso. So, es un poquito de lo que anda aquí. You guys gotta realize there's something happening here. There's something in the background. Why do we have all of this fluidity and looseness in language here? Amongst a group of people that identify closely with science. That's what I'm saying. Es un grupo de personas que se identifican más cerca a la ciencia que los religiosos, pero su uso del idioma es menos científico que la que uso yo como religioso. No tiene sentido. Y te voy a decir que eso es la base de la muerte del ateísmo, porque el debate está causado más que nada en un mal uso de las palabras, un mal entender de las palabras que se está usando. So there's a bad usage. This whole atheistic debate here is really based on bad language skills. It is. This is the thing, because if you see my seminar, you realize, wait a minute. Everybody's talking caca. Everybody's using a word that they don't really understand the meaning to. If they would understand the precise meaning to it, then, considering the other facts, now things are different. And that's basically what I'm showing in the seminar. They're afraid. Ellos tienen temor de este seminario porque este seminario revela la verdad. The seminar brings out the truth. Something in them is afraid. Hay algo dentro de ellos que tiene temor de la verdad. You know, there is truth in the Bible about the light and darkness. This is the curious thing. So you gotta I have to understand that there's darkness in the world, and then there's light. And what we're seeing here with these comments and fear of hearing the seminar and seeking it out, that gives some credence to the light and dark effect. Somebody's afraid. Why are they all afraid of this concept? Why they're hiding their faces from it? Because that's what it looks like. I'm not afraid of dealing with them, but they're afraid of seeing the presentation. That's what they're afraid of. There is a definite fear of something. And this is almost as bad as these kids that, when I was a kid, they were throwing things at me, and instead of running away, these fake Bible stories and all that, drove me to walk towards them instead of running away. So I'm going to walk towards these kids. And I kept walking towards them, and they kept throwing. They threw broken glass bottles and things that were cut me and all. They were throwing it right at me. Nothing hit me. And I was praying. I said, Lord, you made me walk up here. I don't know what you're going to do when I get there, because I know I'll make it to get there. I don't know in what condition. But then after I get there, then what? And I just kept walking. And they kept throwing. And there came a point where they looked up above my head. They were looking at something behind me and above me. And though the look of fright on their eyes, I still remember still today. And I am so very, very, very curious to know, what did they see? But they ran for the hills. Each one, there was 3 or 4 of them. Each one took a different direction. They disappeared, man. They ran. There's reasons people don't want to see what I'm talking about. Yeah. Okay. So we'll leave it here for now. This will be the final teaching of this year. Esto va a ser el último enseñanza de este año. I'm going to get into my Holy Series books and get more chapters done. That's a big project, too. And we are presently opening up branches for the 343 initiative. Estamos abriendo más sucursales de la 343 iniciativa. So we ask you guys to pray about that. This is a project, lifelong project. It's now building up steam and coming to a neighborhood near you. If anywhere you want to get involved, it is the solution to the homelessness, poverty, and hunger. It is a solution. It's not just another program. This solves it. This is another thing that a lot of organizations are running from. A lot of pastors and a lot of organizations run from this. Why? Because it challenges what they're doing. They're doing some whatever. And maybe they get some government money or they got some funding, whatever. They're afraid. The 343 is self-funded because it works. You guys don't say, I had someone ask me the other day, how are you funding this? And I told them, it is self-funded. Because if it wasn't, how could we help people get off their feet, get on their feet again, financially, if the 343 couldn't help itself financially? I haven't heard from them again. They're done. All right, so this is it. A lot of organizations, they're supposed to be helping people, they're running away. I understand. I'm sorry, but this is a game changer, the 343 initiative. Now, if they were more higher thinkers, they would realize that, hey, 343, I can join. We can join. The organization can join with the 343 and make it a reality for everyone here. What would be better? And you got to think of it this way. If we get rid of this problem in your city, what will then happen to your ministry? Well, your ministry will be prospering. That's what. You'll move on to greater things with a lot more people. That's what. It's not the destruction of your workforce. There, you built up an institution, and that institution will transform. That's all. It will transform, and instead of having a lot of clients that need help, it'll have a lot more people that you're providing preventative resources to, preventative services to, if you're a church, ministering to. That's why it doesn't end the organization. It just gives it a more refined and a more glorious development. It evolves into a preventer of the homelessness and hungry and poverty, instead of being just a little bandage here and there, which it is now. Right? So let me ask you a question. It's just simple to understand this. Are there more people working and stable than there are out in the street in your hometown? Which one's the greater population? Right? Terrible if you tell me that the homeless are, right? But which is the greater population? Is there more people? So would it be better to be assisting and dealing with more people or with less people? You got to think this out. You got to reason this, especially if you're a church. It's a no-brainer. All right. So again, but most churches would need the Holy Spirit to have this understanding. And all right. So I won't be hitting you guys browbeating y'all anymore. Dios le bendiga a todos. Oran por nosotros. Keep us in your prayers. God has done great things. The meek shall inherit the earth. God has done that. And this, I'll make it my birthday salutation for all of y'all. In all of my years, the meek, this meek has inherited the earth. Praise God. I thank God for it. And it was through meekness. It was through meekness. And meek doesn't mean, poor and lowly and that. It's not exactly what meekness means. Meekness just means like quiet. Shh. He's going to take care of this and that and that. Sí, es el, no sé, no lo sé en español, pero I should get it. Let's find that so I can do that right. Voy a buscar ese texto en español so that everyone can have it. Let me just get it here in English. Okay, Mateo, let's see this. En español, perdón. Alright. Y lo que estoy diciendo es que el Señor ha cumplido su verdad, los mansos. Como enseño siempre en inglés, el español se me va. No que lo tuve en posesión, nunca, pero anyway, los mansos. Son los mansos han recibido la tierra por heredad en mi situación. Yo puedo comprobar que así es. Y quiero decir que los mansos no son pobres. No es que son pobres, no es que son... no es humildad. Es que los mansos son callados. Pero no quiere decir que son estúpidos. La vida no la llama estúpido. Ellos no son estúpidos, los mansos. You know, the thing about being meek is that you're not stupid. That's what you gotta understand. This is meek. It's not stupid. So what the meekness means that this is an intelligent person over there being very quiet. Being very quiet. What makes us intelligent? What are we knowing? We're knowing that God is in control. Lo que nosotros sabemos que Dios está en control. En mis 52 años en el Evangelio, in my 52 years in the gospel, I can attest to you that God is in control. Even you all atheists, you don't realize this because you didn't attend my seminar. But God is in control even of everything that you're standing on. En todo lo que tú estás parado, en todo lo que, en donde tú estás parado, Dios está en control. And I see a lot of Christians panicking. A lot of you people out there stressing it out. And you guys really need to let go and let God. Ustedes tienen que aprender de dejarlo suelto. Ustedes están estresando muchas cosas. Aquí, allá, y esto, y aquello, otro, Déjalo suelto, déjalo. Y deja que Dios obra su voluntad. You know, let God's will be done on earth as it is in heaven. These prayers are not just little stories. They're actually teaching you. You don't need to worry. Usted no tiene que preocuparte. Now, you do need to study. And you need to do some work. Tú necesitas estudiar, tú necesitas trabajar, tú necesitas crear. You need to create. You need to you move yourself in some activity, some direction. But let God work itself through. Do all you can do. Haga todo lo que tú puedes hacer. Deja que Dios se preocupa de abrir puertas, cerrar puertas. And you guys that like to be judgmental, my 52 years in the gospel, because I'm 60 in November 22nd. Yo voy a tener 60 en noviembre 22. Pero ustedes, mucha gente me han criticado en mi vida. Many people have criticized me in my 60 years, even family, y aún la familia de uno. So yo puedo hablar, vamos a hablar. You guys know who you are. Y siempre dice, trato eso, trato esto, trata. Oh, you tried this, he said this, he did this, he tried that, that didn't work, that didn't work, you know? And you know what? All of it is 343 now, baby. Yeah! Todo es 343 ahora. Gloria a Dios. Alaba a tu Dios. Provócalo. Everything is 343 now, baby. Santo es el Señor. That's right. That's right. You know, a lot of people like to talk. You guys don't understand how things work. Ustedes no, hablan mucho, pero no entienden cómo trabajan las cosas. ¿Ok? Deja que los creadores en la vida, que yo soy un creador. Los creadores hacen cosas que aparentemente no trabajan, no terminan. La misma tierra tiene animales y cosas que hoy día no están. Vamos a decir que Dios no sabe lo que está haciendo. You know, some people es que no entienden que las cosas en esta tierra no trabajan, que así que todo lo que tú haces tiene que cumplirse y tiene que estar triunfando en cualquier cosa. Así no trabaja la vida. You know, the life isn't full of successes every single day. That's not how nature is. There's a lot of failure in nature. And God created it. But you have a lot of people just talk, criticizing, putting you down. Oh my goodness, scam artists. How many people call me a scammer? Even now with the Atheism is Dead seminar. Scammer. Was it that or somebody else that said I was something else? I forget what the other thing they say. Business type related, like you're a scammer. What's the other thing? I forget what the other thing is now. But they've called me everything. Ellos me han llamado de todo, estafador, y todo. All the time, everyone has called me something. Never been taken to court on anything like that, even remotely. No one's ever really accused me of anything. You haven't done anything. I give classes on how to find deception. Yo doy clase en cómo ver decepciones, aún en cosas de negocio, en cosas. Come on. Oh yeah, somebody else said that the 343 was an MLM. Oh man, that was a Christian. Y era un cristiano, oye, que me llama la 343 una cosa de multiniveles. Es ridículo. Es que y es cristiano. La gente no sabe mucho. Y él fue doctor, era un doctorado que tiene. Esto lo que están produciendo estos días de doctores, yo no sé, es un horror. So, you know, even in a recent thing, somebody called me who was saying that the 343 initiative was an MLM. It was ridiculous, hideously ridiculous. And this guy was a doctor, had a doctor's degree. Come on, a doctorate. You gotta be kidding? You can't read? You know, you can't read. There's certain things I said you have to read carefully and see. Because even when I had some slideshows on a video, and it said this is just for graphic purpose. I'm sure they saw that. And schemata. They allowed schemata to overtake a doctorate. That is a problem. Es un problema cuando un doctorado es vencido por schemata. Y eso es lo que ese cristiano sufrió eso. Es a weak-minded doctorate person with a doctor's degree. That's all it is. Es una persona con una mente débil con un doctorado. Eso es todo. Yo prefiero una persona con mucha habilidad y fuerza mental sin doctorado. Es mucho mejor. Eso es gente que entiende. Alright, so anyway, there's people are better off without a doctorate degree that have a strong mind, a strong reason, a mind of reason and sense. It's better than a person with a doctorate that is susceptible to schemata. You guys are trouble too much. So anyway, again, what I've learned in my 60 years, my advice is to do all that you can do. If you're a Christian, si tú eres un cristiano, haz todo lo que tú puedes hacer. Si eres cristiano, deja que la gracia de Dios fluya en ti. If you're a Christian, let the grace of God flow through you. Now, the grace of God isn't your salvation. You're saved due to God's grace. His grace has saved you. But the grace isn't, it's not his perfume. Grace is what he does well. He that only God can do. Perfection. And he saved us perfectly. You know, and that's his grace. That's what is meant by grace. It isn't a mysterious ether. La gracia no es un aire misteriosa que emite Dios. Que mucha gente no entiende lo que es la gracia. Ellos explican en los libros de teología que la gracia es esta cosa, una cosa de atmósfera, de poder que Dios tiene y por ello hemos sido salvados. No, la gracia es que Dios perfectamente salvó al hombre por su perfección, por su obra perfecta, el plan de Dios. Eso es la gracia, que Dios tiene gracia. Y entonces la cosa es que esa gracia nos lo dio, porque la Biblia dice nos dio su gracia. The people not understanding. La gente no está entendiendo que Dios nos dio su gracia. ¿Qué quiere decir? Que vamos a poder hacer cosas buenas, cosas bien hechas. So we're able to do good things too. Things by his grace, by his grace. So if you're born again, that means that God has put his grace in you. It means that you do not be afraid of putting your hand to the shovel, you know, of doing what needs to be done, of learning new things according to the grace he's giving you, because he's giving you certain likes, certain strengths, certain interests that you have, you know, since childhood. He says fashion your life and pursue them. You have people living rotten lives. They don't like the job they have. That's because you're not going by God's grace. You're not going by faith. And you're not trusting in God, and you're not being meek, because the meek shall inherit the earth. This is plain and simple. They're struggling at the 9 to 5. Ustedes están trabajando ahí 9 a 5. Usted está luchando y estresando. Y la Biblia dice que los mansos heredarán la tierra. ¿Sí? Usted tiene la gracia de Dios. You have the grace of God in you. You know, I know people that are slaving away right now. Not real. And the fact is that you're slaving away. Other people around you see the grace of God in you, but you don't see it in yourself to trust God even. It's amazing to watch. Es interesante ver que yo he visto personas hoy, ahora mismo, que están esclavizándose, y los demás compañeros de trabajo ven la gracia de Dios en esa persona, que tiene gracia, pero que esa persona sigue sudando, matándose, ora, y matando su cuerpo, y no confía en Dios, no es manso. It's the best thing to describe is that you're just not being meek. You know? Dios tiene todo planeado. God has everything in order, everything planned out. All that needs to be done is that you figure out that you need to be meek. Lo que queda es que usted realiza que tú tienes que ser manso. Y activarse en dejar que la gracia de Dios te use, te llena y salga y brota de ti para bendecir a otros. No puede bendecir a otros si no tiene. Usted tiene que cargarse, tiene que estudiar, tiene que entender las cosas, tiene que practicar, tiene que preparar. You have to practice things, you have to learn things, you have to put them, gather up the things that you need, get things, prepare things. Yes. Try this, it fails. Try that, it fails. Try that, it fails again. Try that, it fails. Try that, it fails. But along the way, things will start falling into place. A little here, a little there, a little there, a little there. And together, then you'll start seeing the big picture. Con poco aquí y poco allá, este fracaso, ese fallo, ese fracaso, todo viene concretando. Porque la gente que nunca hace nada de nota temen fallar. Eso es común. People who never do anything, accomplish any really great thing in life, they fear to fail. And they fear other people talking about them. That's one thing you guys have. Ustedes temen que otra gente van a hablar de ti. Ay, mira lo que van a decir. Esto falló y ahora está todo el mundo hablando. Eso es lo que temen los que no hacen nada en la vida. Los que no ejercen la gracia de Dios. Really. Le van a criticar. Imagínense un ave baby no sabe volar, no sale del huevo, del cascarón y empieza a volar y ir por las montañas volando. Van a hablar de ti, no vuela nada, porque van a hablar de ti. Usted va a caer y se van a hablar, se van a burlarse de ti. You're gonna fall, don't fly. You're going to fall. Don't bother walking even. If you're a little baby, don't bother walking because people are going to laugh at you. Don't do that. You don't want people laughing at you because that's what people do. They're always laughing. They're always looking at something to laugh at you. They're always laughing at someone else. Why don't you look at your own life and build yourself up and forget the other person, how they look, how they fell down. Oh, they're not according to this or that norm. No caben en la normalidad de otros. Olvídase de ello. Porque tú tienes que estar mirándolo y criticándolo. Ay, mira, el pastor está con catarro, que tengo aquí, tiene COVID, mira. ¿Qué rayo es? Siempre están hablando, criticando, y aún familiares critican a uno. Él está hablando. Stop talking about other people. Live your life and concentrate on focusing on building people up. You have a criticism of somebody? Why? ¿Por qué tú vas a tener una crítica de uno o de un familiar? ¿Por qué? Can you imagine una madre criticando al hijo? Entonces, ¿quién fue la mamá de ese muchacho? I could tell you stories, but I'm not going to bother. You have mothers criticizing their own children. Why? You raised them. They don't make any sense. Es como una madre que dijo al hijo, I'm not going to tell you, tú eres mal criado. ¿Cómo tú vas a decir al hijo que es malcriado? Isn't that funny? A mother tells his son, I won't tell you who it is, that you are, what they say in English for that, malcriado, I have to paraphrase it, you're badly raised. You are, a miscreant. That's what that is. In English, the precise word is miscreant. Now, in English, you have it as a very negative, but miscreant actually means that you were raised up wrong. You weren't raised right. That's what miscreant actually means originally. Now it's really, you're a criminal thief. But in the Spanish, it means that you're just not raised right, man. You don't have the right reason, So for a mother to tell the son, because you got to listen to the words. For a mother to tell her son that he's poorly raised, so the son just looked back at her, right? Because come on, el hijo solo la miró para atrás. No fue solo. La realidad fue que el hijo le dijo, pues tú me criaste. The truth is that the son told the mom, well, you raised me. See? Very smart answer and actually true. The mother made a mistake. You don't tell your child that he's a miscreant or that he's badly raised because you're the one that's supposed to raise him. Right? So again, but people say things that they don't really understand what they're saying. So that's why, listen, if you shouldn't be talking bad about anything. You need to be building good things for people. Because in any case, in any way, the only way a person can improve, they have to improve on the good. They can't improve on the bad. They can only improve on the good. La gente solo pueden mejorarse en lo bueno, no en lo malo. So enfoque en lo bueno. Y desarrolla lo bueno. Ahí habla siempre bien de sus familiares. Always speak well of your family members. Always. And then of others, or your friends, or your co-workers, your student friends, your peers, speak well. Habla bien de sus amigos, de sus compañeros de trabajo, de compañeros de escuela, de estudios. Habla bien de la gente. Busca lo mejor y edifica sobre eso. I have a friend who's like, what can we say? He's failed many times in terms of the relationships, left you hanging, left you waiting, right? Te dejó ahí esperando un amigo particular que nos dejó esperando. Y es un hábito, siempre. Pero en vez de... Y es hoy día todavía amigo, bien amigo conmigo. He's still a best friend of mine. Simply because I turn a blind eye to the negatives. Simply. No miro a lo negativo de esa persona. Es mi amigo aún hoy. Por eso. Porque solo insisto en solo ver lo bueno. Porque es un buen ser. He is a good soul, this person. Is a very good person. His person is good. He just learned some bad habits. Él aprendió cosas malas, pero él es bueno, right? So that's what I look at, and to develop on that and build a friendship on those things. Cuando hace las cosas malas, pues, pero no dejo que eso interrumpe la relación. And a lot of married couples out there could very benefit from this point. muchos matrimonios allá afuera, y con esto voy a terminar, pueden beneficiarse en ese punto. Mira lo bueno. No te enfoques en lo malo. No te enfoques en lo malo. Ahora, si tú estás casado, eres cristiano, usted debe estar en una iglesia como la nuestra, que ayuda a los matrimonios. Debe estar tomando clases conmigo. ¿Ok? Pero si no tiene esa disponibilidad, mi mejor consejo es que no mira lo malo. Ignóralo. Cuando te responde así, responde así, ignora. Concentra solamente en lo bueno. That's it. You know, when your spouse, if you need to be in a church like ours, that we will give you teaching and mentoring for your marriage, so that things can improve, right? So that's what. And so if you are not able to do that, then my best advice for you is actually to ignore the bad things. Ignore them. Because you're not going to have the support structure around to help yourselves build up, right? So you just need to ignore the bad. Ignore that bad. It'll attack you here. He does this. He does that. Says this. Says that. Right? He or she. Ignore the bad. And ignoring means ignoring. There should be nothing hurting you. I'm not talking about taking physical abuse. No. And even verbal abuse is not to be accepted. You do need to find some help, some counseling. That's not acceptable. But things that are like they hurt you, but they're not, just they bother you, and they don't go to that extreme. Just ignore them. Things that he or she does, like I hate when he's always doing that. I'm really sick and tired. Don't be sick and tired of it. Just ignore that. Look at the good things and focus on the good things. And when those things happen, just ignore them like they're nothing, like they mean nothing to you, and they shouldn't, because you need to be looking at the good things. And the meek shall inherit the earth. Usted tiene que estar mirando las cosas buenas, no sufrir abuso, no. Cualquier abuso verbal o físico hay que buscar intervención y ayuda inmediatamente, no esperas. Pero las cosas más livianas, ignóralos. No te estreses, porque los mansos heredarán la tierra. Happy birthday to me, 60 years old, November the 22nd. Amen. I made it. Oh my, and I have friends who haven't, and I pray for them also. So 60. I'm still a young kid, I guess. I don't know how much longer I have. I tell you, I don't have much longer, but hey, I made it to the 6th floor, huh? And I'll be leaving a lot behind. So, whenever the day, I don't know. It's not that I know I'm going to, but we all are going to one day or another. And when it happens, it happens. At least I have all this. Stays here for the smart people later, if there's still any left. Esto queda para los inteligentes después. Si quedan algunos. God bless you and God keep you.